Hello and welcome to Around the Table. I'm Adam and we are in the Cwtch Haus showroom in Haverfordwest at Pembrokeshire, and today I'm joined by our very own Teagan Mason, a design consultant with us here. Hello Teagan.
Hello.
And what are we making today?
Today we're making a tomato and basil pasta. It's one of my favourites, easy, quick. Most meals is at home is this, so that's what we're doing.
Cool. So what goes into it?
So we've got obviously the pasta, we've got shallots, chilli, basil, bit of parmesan and some double cream as well, and then some seasoning and things like that.
So what interested you about interior design and why did you decide to get into it?
So when I was younger, basically, I've always took an interest in the interior, always wanted to change my bedroom round. If there was any renovations going on, I was always in there, getting involved, choosing things for the house. And then from there I realised, I could do a career at this, and that's where I've ended up.
Great. And took it to university?
Yes,
How was
ended
that?
up. It was good. It was definitely an experience. But there's nothing better really than being and doing it in real life. I never got an opportunity to see a project go from start to finish. But here I've seen like many now, so it's been really cool to see my ideas come to life. Uni doesn't give it justice at all.
Yeah.
You can get marks, but nothing compares to experiencing real projects and real life transformations really.
Yeah. And it's been how long now since you graduated?
It's been, graduated last November, so it's been a few months now.
Wow. And you've been with us, well, since before then?
Since July.
So 9 months?
9 months, yeah.
Wow. And why did you decide that kitchens and bathrooms is where you'd like to specialise?
To be honest, I didn't really have a clue where I was going to go when I started the course. I just sort of hoped and prayed that it would take me somewhere, and then when I did work experience here, I realised, I quite like this, and that's just the path I've ended up going down, and I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. So what is it you enjoy most about working in kitchen and bathroom design?
Definitely the befores and after, but also just being able to transform customers' homes is the best bit, and just seeing even their reactions to the renders sometimes. You show them the renders and they're just like, wow, is that my bathroom? And you're like, yeah, that's what it could look like. So it's really fun actually. Every day's different as well, which I love. No day's the same, which I've always said I don't want a job that is the same every single day. So it's nice to have a change all the time.
So when you're sort of, a customer first comes to you and they're looking at doing a kitchen or a bathroom renovation, where do you start? How does the whole process go?
A lot of it is customers' preferences, depending on what the conversation I've had with them. It's very rare you get a customer that's like, oh, just do whatever. There's usually stuff they do and don't like, or that they've asked for specifically. So I always sort of start there. But a lot of the time the room does sort of speak to you, depending on lighting and things like that. You can sort of decipher what colours will work and what won't work. And then a lot of it is also customer choices. I can do a lovely design and then a customer can come in and change it all. So it just all depends on how much the customer trusts me really, and how much I can take a customer's vision and make it happen.
So for anyone starting a kitchen or a bathroom renovation, what are your sort of top tips, pieces of advice?
I think definitely getting your ideas down somewhere, whether it's a Pinterest board, whether it's just some ideas of colours. Mood boards are a great way for me personally, just to sort of get inside somebody's head. But it's really dependent on the person. Some people are really visual, some people aren't at all. So even just us doing the renders can help them massively to see what they do and don't want. People sometimes don't realise if it's going to work or not until they actually see the renders of the space, and then they can sort of figure out, oh, okay, my idea wasn't as nice as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I think just getting that down on a page, what you like, even just flicking through brochures and things like that can help you see, oh, I like that and I don't like that. There's definitely, everyone has their preferences, so just knowing sometimes what you do want and don't want can help us as well as them to make the decisions at the end. Yeah.
And how do you approach a project if you've after you've seen a room for the first time and you've taken the measurements? What sort of things do you look at?
I always try and take the customer's points into consideration, but there are sometimes some things that I think, well, that isn't going to work, and I do sort of my own thing and try and put my own little touch on things as well. But yeah, it's quite nice to be able to do that actually. And there's some spaces that there's only one design that'll work, and there's some I've sat there and done 3 or 4 different designs for, which is quite cool. And then the customers are like, oh my gosh, there's so much more I could do with this space, when they didn't realise. Some people, everybody likes to go for what they know. And then when they start to see changes, they're like, oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I suppose, you know, you do get that person that really wants their kitchen island.
Yes, and they don't have the space for it.
And then they don't have the space for it. So what do? I guess you just show them how the space works.
Yeah, we sometimes try and compromise. I did have a customer that wanted an island recently, and they ended up going for a peninsula, and it just worked so much better. It just gave them a lot more space. But the island would have just taken over the whole kitchen, and they wouldn't have been able to cook at all.
Yeah. So it's really, I guess the process really is just working out how best the room works. It's not really, how do I word it? I guess not that it designs itself, but the space will lend itself to a.
Put some hot water in that for me.
Yes, of course. Will lend itself to a certain way of working.
Yeah.
And it's, I guess, a discovery process to find out how you can get the most out of that space.
Yeah.
I've steamed up. I've done it here. Which one? This one?
The back one.
Back one.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. So what are your must-haves in a kitchen design?
Oh, there's a few. I think definitely a nice big prep space. Spatial design is the one thing that I just love. I try and always make a space as conventional as possible, and just make sure you can work easily, even if it's just making a cup of tea. But yeah, definitely lots of prep space. I do love a little hidden larder. They're really cool, just a space that you can actually walk into and look at ingredients, and it's not all in a cupboard. A wine fridge, I'd definitely say. Do love a wine fridge. And just lots of storage. Not overloading drawers, and just being able to actually see what you've got in there, rather than having to sort of sift through and try and find that one utensil that you can't find.
That's so understated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, drawers, rather than crawling around into the depths of a standard unit. And also, I mean, there are other things, I guess, like having your plate storage close to your dishwasher.
Yeah.
So you haven't got to traverse from one end of the kitchen to the other.
Having your fridge nice and close to your kettle or your hot water tap.
Or your hot water tap.
You can move. Yeah. I always think making a cup of tea, that's the most important. How quick is it going to be to make a cup of tea in the kitchen? Yeah, just little things like that can make a difference. Even if you're somebody that cooks with your partner or friend, you've got to be able to work in the space without bumping into each other, which is really important as well.
Yeah, of course. Hob on the island or sink on the island? What are your thoughts?
I think hob. I feel like when you're using the sink, you're not really washing up or things like that. Whereas the hob, like here, you're just more communal. You're more likely to chat when you're using the hob. Whereas with the sink, this one is nice because we can sort of show off to customers the tap. But in real life, you're just going to have a lot of washing up there. Yeah. Island's a feature, so the hob is a nice feature to put on there, but the sink, not so much. I think it is nice that we've got that sink that we can sort of hide our dishes in, but definitely hob on the island, not sink.
Yeah.
It's helpful for the plumbers as well, actually. They haven't got to get pipes for the water.
So what are some of your other kitchen and bathroom design top tips?
I think definitely just having space is the biggest thing. In a bathroom is one of the things that people seem to not care so much about. Just being able to get around the toilet, to get in the shower and things like that. People just always seem to sacrifice in a bathroom. In a kitchen, they're more precious on space. But just try not to squeeze too much into the space, and being open to ideas as well, I think, from us. If we say an island's not going to work, just listen. Because that's when you get them squished into spaces and things like that. Yeah, because they can't picture it. Like a lot of people do struggle to picture it. But when we sort of explain where the space, where they can and can't work, and people
I suppose when you've had a vision in your head for so long, you can quite easily get attached to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Which can make it hard to think or see other ideas. Yeah. But then, I guess the benefit is with you can draw it all out and show them, and being able to explain it and even walk through the space.
Yeah. that's the beauty
Makes a
with us,
massive
really.
difference, yeah.
It does, and people say that they've got this idea and they just can't put it down, and then when we've got their ideas and done it for them, they're like, oh right, that's what I pictured, or oh no, that's nothing like what I pictured. So it's really helpful for them and for us, really, to be able to get their ideas down and know what they're thinking, because you can go back and forth between many designs, but we don't mind that. We'd rather go back and forth and then make a decision than it be not what you wanted.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing.
So you're designing your own kitchen.
Yeah.
How are you doing that? What does your dream kitchen look like?
I think it depends on the space is the biggest thing. I think people often have this vision of a kitchen in their head, but to me it's all dependent on the space. I think, galley kitchens are quite nice. U-shaped kitchens can really work as well. But the island is the thing that everybody seems to want. But yeah, it all just depends on that final space. I think my dream is to just have a nice big island, but you've got that communal space on. Just a nice cooking appliances as well, because I do love cooking. So something that's easy and you don't have to think too much about, and just lots of sort of storage and bits and bobs for all my different things.
Colours, style?
I've always said my dream kitchen is blue. That might change, but I've always sort of said blue. I do love that sort of blue and
dark blue or light blue?
Dark blue, yeah, definitely like a navy or something like that. Just depends on which company you choose, I suppose. But I'm more of a traditionalist than a modernist.
Okay, so a shaker style.
So shaker would probably be my go-to, yeah. I do like the German kitchens, but I always stick to shaker.
Yeah.
There's just something about a shaker door that you just can't beat.
Yeah.
Even the wood grain and everything.
Timeless.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Accessories? You going brass or?
I don't know. I do like the different sort of aged brass that's come out recently. It's sort of always been there, but they sort of are pushing it even more now. And the nickel is quite nice. I do like that in the bathroom that we've got those sort of nickel colours. But stainless steel is lovely, and you can get everything in stainless steel, so it's easy to match things.
Yeah.
But mixing metals is very classy, so I think a mixture of everything can be quite nice in a space as well.
Yeah. And what about your work surface?
I think definitely something sturdy like a neolith or a Decton that you can just chuck things on and not have to worry. I do love that with this you can just take that pan off and put it there, and you haven't got to run and grab something to protect the worktop. And if you spill something, you don't have to be as worried. It's just nice to be able to have something that you can almost batter, and it's not going to...
It can withstand it.
It can withstand me and heavy knives and things, chucking things down on it. Yeah, it's lovely.
Okay, taste test.
Taste test.
That looks amazing.
It does look good. You can see why it's my favourite.
So simple as well.
Yeah, literally done in no time at all.
Here, should I turn this off?
Yeah, if you could switch that off for me.
Oh, it smells so good as well with the basil.
The whole showroom is going to smell amazing.
I can't wait to try this.
Couple of chilies, bit of salt. Bon appetit.
Nice. Forks?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Go on,
Go
you
on,
first.
no, because I know what it tastes
Sure.
like. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that is amazing.
that was good.
Well done.
And everyone's got lunch.
Well, I'm having that.
Yeah. And everyone else.
Well, thank you so much.
No, that's okay. Thank you for having me.